Remember when an NBA team shooting 23s in a game was considered extreme? Fast forward to today, and some teams attempt 23s before halftime. The three-point shot isn't just a tool in the modern NBA, it's the main course. But how did we get here? How did a once rare, almost gimmicky shot become the foundation of championship offenses? Let's dive into the art of the three-point shot and how it reshaped the NBA as we know it. To understand the three-point revolution, we have to rewind to the late 1970s. The three-pointer was first introduced in the ABA in 1967 as a flashy gimmick to attract fans. When the NBA absorbed ABA teams in 1976, they debated adopting the three-point line. Eventually, the league added it for the 1979-80 season. Ironically, the same year Magic Johnson and Larry Bird arrived, though neither was known for jacking up triples. Back then, coaches and old-school analysts considered the three-pointer a desperation heave or a specialty shot reserved for end-of-quarter buzzer beaters. The game was dominated by big men who punished opponents in the paint. Centers like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Moses Malone, and later Hakeem Olajuwon ruled the low post. Three-point specialists were rare and mostly rode the bench, only unleashed when a team trailed late. Imagine telling someone in 1985 that one day, teams would build entire offenses around launching 43s a night. While the three-point line sat mostly ignored in the 1980s, a few sharpshooters started to show what it could do. Larry Bird wasn't a volume three-point shooter by today's standards, but he showed how devastating a well-timed three could be. Dale Ellis and Craig Hodges in the late 80s proved there was room for specialists who could make defenses pay from deep. Then came the 1990s, when Reggie Miller turned the three into a dagger. Reggie's off-ball movement, quick release, and clutch shooting demonstrated that a great three-point shooter could swing entire games and even playoff series. Remember his 8 points in 9 seconds against the Knicks? That was the first time the world truly saw how lethal the three could be in the hands of a master. Glenn Rice, another star of the 90s, also showcased how a high-volume three-point shooter could carry an offense for stretches, giving teams a new strategic weapon. Still, three-point shooting was more of an accessory than a focal point. It wasn't until the mid-2000s that teams began to realize the full value of the three-pointer. Around the early 2000s and 10s, data-driven executives and coaches started crunching the numbers and realized a simple truth. A three-point shot is worth 50% more than a two-pointer. If you can hit 35% of your threes, that's the same expected return as hitting over 50% of your twos. But with better floor spacing, teams like the Houston Rockets under GM Daryl Morey went all in. They built offenses specifically designed to create layups and open threes while avoiding the mid-range jumper. Once a staple of stars like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, the numbers showed the mid-range was the least efficient shot on the floor. This new math completely changed how coaches thought about offense, and fans started to see a different game. One where centers stepped outside the arc, power forwards became stretch shooters, and guards pulled up from 30 feet. Suddenly, players once considered traditional big men were pushed to adapt or risk being phased out of the league entirely. It led to a new breed of stretch fours and stretch fives, players like Channing Frye, Ryan Anderson, and later Brook Lopez, who made careers by adding a reliable three-point shot. If analytics opened the door, Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors knocked it off its hinges. When Steve Kerr took over the Warriors in 2014, he encouraged Curry and Klay Thompson to let it fly from deep. The Splash Brothers combined deep shooting with incredible ball movement, unselfish play, and relentless pace. They broke defenses in ways never seen before. Suddenly, everyone wanted to shoot like Steph. Kids practicing fadeaway 30-footers became a common sight at local gyms. Defenses scrambled to guard shooters 5 to 10 feet beyond the arc, which created more space inside for drives, dunks, and layups. Golden State's 2015 championship, followed by their 73-9 season in 2016 and later dominance with Kevin Durant, proved to the league that the three wasn't just a nice option, it was the key to modern offense. Other teams tried to replicate this formula, but few had a player as skilled and fearless as Curry. The Warriors didn't just take threes, they made them at absurdly high percentages, and their off-ball movement constantly stressed defenses. The ripple effects of Golden State's approach changed scouting, player development, and team-building strategies across the league. So what makes a great three-point shooter today? It's more than just standing at the line and knocking down open shots. The art of the three involves several critical skills. First, range. Great shooters like Curry, Damian Lillard, and Trae Young regularly pull up from 30 feet or more. This extreme range stretches defenses far beyond their comfort zone. Second, quick release. A quick release is essential. Klay Thompson once scored 37 points in a single quarter with lightning-fast catch-and-shoot threes. Defenders simply couldn't keep up. Third, movement without the ball. Off-ball movement is a lost art, but shooters like Reggie Miller and Ray Allen made a living by running defenders through screens, catching defenders off balance, and getting open looks. Fourth, off-the-dribble shooting. Early three-point specialists mostly shot set threes. Today's stars can create their own shot off the dribble, sidestep defenders, and hit step-back threes with ease. James Harden's step-back three became a signature weapon that forced defenses into impossible choices. And fifth, confidence and fearlessness. The best shooters don't hesitate. They shoot with the confidence that the next one is going in, even after a few misses. This unwavering mentality separates streaky shooters from the truly elite. One of the underrated aspects of the three is its ability to demoralize opponents. A team can be playing good defense for 22 seconds, but a deep three over a contest can break their spirit. The three-point shot also fuels momentum. A quick 9-0 run with three triples can flip a game in less than a minute. When a team gets hot from three, it energizes the crowd, rattles the opposition, and can turn a game into a blowout. Coaches call timeouts desperately trying to stop the barrage, but once a team is in rhythm, it often feels unstoppable. On the flip side, if a team relies too heavily on the three and goes cold, it can doom them. This live by the three, die by the three reality adds drama and unpredictability to today's game. With the three's rise, the mid-range jumper has become an endangered species. Players like DeMar DeRozan, Chris Paul, and Kawhi Leonard still use it effectively, but for most players, the mid-range shot is frowned upon. Is this bad for the game? Some fans and old-school players argue that today's NBA is too reliant on threes and dunks, with little in between. They miss the days when stars carved up defenses with pull-up 18-footers. But from a number standpoint, it's hard to argue with efficiency. Still, basketball goes through cycles. As defenses adapt to take away threes, the mid-range might make a comeback. Already in the playoffs, we see teams game planning to run shooters off the line and force contested twos. Players like Devin Booker and Kevin Durant thrive in these areas, proving that there is still room for the mid-range in the right hands. The three-point revolution isn't limited to the NBA. International teams and youth leagues worldwide have embraced the shot. In the Olympics and FIBA competitions, the best teams often space the floor with shooters at every position. Meanwhile, young players idolizing Curry and Thompson have grown up practicing step-back threes as a core skill. High school and college games now feature more five-out offenses with constant movement and spacing. The three has changed not only how the game is played, but how it's taught. Coaches at every level emphasize shooting, spacing, and decision-making beyond the arc. The days of packing the paint and grinding out games with post-ups are fading in favor of fluid, perimeter-oriented attacks. Where does the game go from here? Some possibilities include four-point line, There's been talk of adding a 4-point line in the future to reward ultra-deep shooters, similar to how the Philippines introduced a 4-point line in its professional league. Rule changes? The league might tinker with rules to encourage more diversity in shot selection and bring balance back to the game. Player evolution. As athletes keep getting bigger, faster, and more skilled, we'll see 7-footers who can dribble like guards and shoot from 30 feet consistently. One thing's for sure, the 3-point shot is here to stay. It's woven into the fabric of the modern NBA, reshaping everything from scouting and player development to in-game strategies. The art of the 3-pointer is more than just a shot. It's a symbol of how basketball constantly evolves, embracing innovation while challenging tradition. It's thrilling, unpredictable, and a testament to the skill and creativity of today's players. So next time you see a logo 3 swish through the net, remember, you're not just watching a basket, you're witnessing the culmination of decades of evolution, data, and artistry. And whether you love or hate how much today's game revolves around the 3, one thing is undeniable. It made basketball faster, more exciting, and more accessible than ever.
Curry puts up a 3. Bang! Bang! He ties the game! Shoot, Curry. 3-pointers up. Bang! Steph Curry does it again! Here's Curry for the record. It's good! And there it is! Stephen Curry! The all-time 3-point king in the NBA! Curry thought about 3. He'll put up a